Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about how Watchmen, HBO's Watchmen Season 2 appears dead in the wire, not officially canned. But I would say this turkey has been killed outright. I would say that Watchmen is officially cancelled by HBO, no matter what they say. In this article, we are now going to be looking over. If you're hoping for a second season of Damon Lindelof's Watchmen series, then chances are slim it will happen. A USA Today headline blares HBO won't pursue second season of Watchmen after creator bows out. More like running for the hills, probably because he doesn't want to have his name connected to this turkey anymore. However, a second season is not officially dead. Driving deeper into USA Today's report, they note that Lindelof has given my blessing to HBO to pursue a second season. More like, do whatever you want with it. I'm washing my hands of this. This is probably going to affect my career from here on out. Was probably what Lindelof said as he was leaving the HBO building. Everyone can see he just chickened out, no matter how many artsy reasons, because you know those reasons are going to be coming in articles and in videos in the future months, saying that he didn't want to be tied to this series, that he was done with it, he did everything he could effectively do with it, and in reality, those are probably outright lies. These comments echo what he told Rolling Stone in December. However, he was a little more specific, telling them he didn't have any more ideas. He told Rolling Stone, well, I have no more ideas. I completely destroyed Watchmen, at least in this series. The original graphic novel still exists, but I'm sure no one will effectively realize that having characters that have the same names and abilities, effectively my Watchmen is an entirely different animal from the graphic novel, and no true fan would ever confuse my Watchmen for the original thing, because my thing was a steaming pile of trash. What he actually said, I do have a desire for there to be more Watchmen. Maybe these 9 episodes have demonstrated that the playing field is a little bit larger than previously thought. He added, it may inspire someone else to tell a Watchmen story, but right now, I don't have any more ideas. Whether you call something a limited series or an ongoing series, that's fodder for awards consideration. I'm not comfortable calling this anything other than a 9 complete episodes. With a beginning, a middle, and an end. There is no promise of a continuation. You could say the same thing of Westworld, but HBO decided to plod along and turn out a mediocre second season. With you started out mediocre. And now you say you've done everything with the series, but you hope it continues. More Hollywood speak. You gotta love these liars. They lie, and they think it's the truth. HBO programming chief Casey Bloys told USA Today it's really in Damon's thinking about what he wants to do. If there's an idea that excited him about having another season, another installment, maybe like a Fargo True Detective anthology take on it, or if he wants to do something different altogether, we're very proud of Watchmen. That is a blatant lie, but what I'm most interested in, what Damon wants to do. Bloys added, it would be hard to imagine doing it without Damon involved in some way. I'm sure you can find some way to do this. I mean, Disney screwed up Star Wars Episode 9 by getting J.J. Abrams back. I'm sure you can get someone somewhere to do something so horrendously bad that'll make the next season, well, basically the TV version of The Room, or, well, even Troll 2. Yes, make something so mind-boggling bad that people will look at it and say, wow, HBO went down the toilet. Watchmen actor Regina King had previously indicated a second season would be a tall hill to climb. However, she also did indicate that it wasn't out of the realm of possibility. I can see myself being involved in a season 2 if it was really smart. I would need to know the beginning and the end game, unlike how this season was. I did not know what the end game was. I just totally trust Damon. He didn't tell you what the end game was, but you want an end game scenario for the next season if you were to do it. You want to know what's going to happen. Because you probably just didn't like this season at all, really. You probably didn't. The show ended on a cliffhanger with Lindelof detailing there were two possible endings concerning King's Angela Abar. She either falls in the pool or walks on water. Lindelof didn't seem to be excited about exploring either idea for a second season. I think neither one of those stories are going to particularly make for a compelling season of television. Others may disagree, but that's my feeling. Watchmen saw increased ratings throughout the first season. I find the idea that it got increased ratings laughable, but I'm not so sure about that. It had ratings apparently, but apparently those ratings were due to DVR and maybe people playing it later and watching it later. That sort of ratings. And they're counting them even though, well, that's the only way they could get a reliable ratings for anyone to watch Watchmen. At least from what I've heard, that might be true. If that is, it's just them basically scraping the bottom of the barrel and getting as many views for their show as possible. In reality, it probably didn't have that actual many viewers watching the show when it was airing. According to TV Series Final, the show's premiere debuted with just shy of 800,000 total viewers. The series final saw 935,000 people tune in. The average viewership per episode was 759,000. It had an average rating of 0.25. And that is nowhere near what Game of Thrones did in its prime. They're basically doing a couple of thousand people and stuff here. Okay, yeah, several 100,000. But that is nowhere near millions of people that I'm sure Game of Thrones did in its prime. The show received positive ratings from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 96% on the tomato meter. However, audiences appear to be mixed to negative on the show. It has a rotten 54% on audience score from 6,760 reviewers. What do you think of Watchmen not having a season 2? Is it a loss or is it time to move on to something else? I'd say we dodged an immense amount of grief from having not have a second season. This is just good news all around that HBO will basically look for its pocketbook over trying to look and sound woke. They went woke with this season, but they're getting an audience score that pretty much tells them that no, people don't like this series. They don't like what you were doing to Watchmen. Stop it now, please. We don't want this on HBO. We want good programming. If you're going to do genre programming, do it good. If this is what you're going to give, then you might as well turn HBO into a sports network because that's the only way you're going to gain viewers. No one is going to want to watch your shows. Not unless you turn the network into a porn channel, which is possible, but you'd still be losing viewers because the internet already has plenty of that, so you're pretty much boned either way. You're probably looking for some way to salvage this situation and your good reputations as well. Cancel the series. Forget you ever made this series and then do proper and good programming again like, The Sopranos or Real Sports. Game of Thrones is already lost because you're already going to make another season of an incomplete George R.R. Martin story, and you see how that worked with season 8 of Game of Thrones. I mean, do we really want another season like that? I most certainly do not want to see a season like that again. So HBO, you better think about what you want to do in the future. You better come out with new series or, you'll continue to lose viewership to the internet and you'll become less and less, relevant to the media and entertainment world. That's your future if you don't do something about it. And that's probably going to happen anyway because you're still losing out to the internet and to, YouTubers. So stick that in your head and basically spin, huh? But you still have a few more seasons of good programming left in you, I'd say. But then again, considering Watchmen, I'd say there's a good chance those seasons are already up and that in the future, you're just going to do schlocky and basically titillating programming to try and get your viewers to come back to you, but you'll fail because your program will probably still be woke. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Don't forget to subscribe to my library channel. It's also named Comic Freak. And please share this video. Share it on Reddit, share it on Facebook, and share it on Twitter. Share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their own YouTube creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could please share this video. Now listen closely. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.